Welcome to HubnSpoke, the podcast for busy marketers looking to get more leads and sales from HubSpot. Discover the latest from the world of content marketing and social media. Here are your hosts from the Kingdom, San Johnson and Adam Steinhardt.
Welcome everybody to the HubnSpoke, the podcast for HubSpot enthusiasts and aficionados worldwide.
Globally looking for a bit of a laugh at the same time as getting some top secret new tips.
Absolutely.
Zan Johnson, welcome.
Thank you. No, I'm welcoming you. Welcome,
right.
Adam Steinhardt.
Thank you. Let's get into it.
Episode 40 today. Pretty exciting. We've hit 4 times double digits.
I know. If it wasn't
You did the math.
getting so remarkably close to my age, then I would celebrate it more, but that's not fun. So
It's not good.
So today we've got the form guide on forms, Zan
The
Johnson.
form guide on forms. I'm keen to know what this is going to be about. Forms. I'm gathering.
I don't want you to form an incorrect opinion.
Oh my
without
God.
getting stuck into it. But yeah, it's
The
about
jokes.
forms. Who would have thought?
Who knew?
Now, it's pretty relevant to everybody on the planet that has a website, not just HubSpot, but we are going to have a bit of a tailor-made to HubSpot being a HubSpot podcast. But certainly don't switch off, because if you've got forms on your website, and just about everybody does in the old Contact Us department, then you want to hear this.
Indeed. I'm keen to know how many non-HubSpot users are listening to us, though.
I don't want you to switch off.
No. I'm switched on.
Okay, so
Tell us about the form guide on forms. What does this mean?
well, forms are a critical tool, because this is where you actually get contribution into your database, and with that contribution, you start the process of lead nurturing. Inbound marketing effectively really returns its value for you.
I like the term contribution because it's sometimes more than a conversion, because someone may have already converted with you before and they come back and contribute more to the information you already have.
And I like your contribution to this podcast. Okay. So there's effectively going to be, in this strategy, 4 different considerations, 4 different forms. And it's very easy to get completely overwhelmed by creating new forms every time you have a new thing. But we don't do that in HubSpot. Ideally, you don't have to do that. So what's a good idea, though, is to match up the forms to each stage of the buyer's journey. So we're talking the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the decision stage.
Yep.
So each of those forms is a little bit different, but you want to kind of keep them in that category so that you know if somebody converts on one of those forms, which part of the sales funnel they are actually on. And I will put a link in the show notes to our very impressive article that talks about the difference between BOFU, TOFU, and MOFU, which of course is
top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Yes, the U is not represented as a word in the acronym.
And that in itself is open for a lot of debate. Toff, moff, and boff. Okay. So you with me so far?
I am with you so far.
Great. So, and then of course there's a 4th form. Zan Johnson, what do you reckon that is?
Probably contact us.
Brilliant. Yeah, exactly that. So contact us, which is all about contacting you.
Wow.
So what sort of things do you have in your form? So first name, last name, email address are obvious.
Yep.
Email address is the key field in the HubSpot database. You must have this.
She not work without him.
Correct. And that's the way, of course, you can recontact digitally. Very important. Now, after that, let's assume it's B2B for the sake of the example. Then company name and website are the 2 other things that you would want to consider having on your form. Now, much more than that is starting to ask too much. And we do see people going in for the kill by trying to get loads and loads of data in their form at the first strike. But that's just not something. You want to minimize the amount of data, don't you?
Well, and why do you want to minimize the amount of data?
Because you want to remove the barriers to entry.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody's coming onto your form and converting for the first time, then they're just beginning on their journey of trust.
And some of those questions can be a little confronting.
Oh, like mobile phone number.
Like middle name.
Oh my God.
What do you need that for?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do?
So, and you
Call me in the middle of the night and use my middle name?
Exactly. So there's no Kadon.
Oh, you had to go there. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. So mobile number. In fact, mobile number really doesn't have a place at all because it's too personal. I think it makes people suspicious.
As you've just shared our middle names with the world.
Great. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, it was interesting before this. Don't get yourself.
Okay.
Don't be
Thank God.
misunderstood.
So with HubSpot, and this is what we love about it, is that it has progressive polling. And progressive pollings aren't, I know you're all over it.
Sounds like an election term.
It is, almost. Progressive polling is the fantastic ability the platform has to ask more questions if somebody's already been on your form once.
So let's give an example. You be the form and I'll be the answerer.
Okay. Okay, on the form. What are you going to do now? This game's weird. Okay, well, I'm the first name, last name, email address. And let's say you filled out my first name as a form.
Filled out first name, last name, email address, and I come back to your website 2 days later. What are you going to ask me now instead of asking me those 3 questions again?
Let's keep with our original example. So you also had company name and website as a big 5 to start with. So let's assume that they all got filled out the first time. Yep. Right. So if I had progressive polling tuned into those, I only need the email address. So I can turn off those other 4 fields, not show them again, invite the user to put the email address in, and then from there, because of the fact there is a cookie installed on your site and it's remembered you, from there I could ask things like, what's your primary function in the organisation? What do you do?
Yep.
Or how many employees you might have in your business? Or is your company B2B, B2C, or both? And those additional questions will be asked on the second time around. And if you fill those out, the third time around, we might go with industry.
Okay.
And then we might go with the 4th form that you fill out. It might be, what's your biggest marketing and sales challenge? So by doing this, you're actually getting the computer and the website is doing its own job of harvesting more and more information, filling out the profile of your prospect automatically, as it goes.
Automatically. It's really a huge functionality, isn't it?
Oh, it's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, the potential that you have once you have that extra information is huge.
Absolutely.
You can go and make a list of all the people who come from a specific industry.
Yeah. And
number of employees.
Exactly. And number of employees gives you straight away the size of the company.
Yeah.
You've got biggest challenges, so straight away you're getting an idea of the problems you might be able to solve.
Yeah.
So you've got...
Turn that into a site page.
Exactly. So you've got huge amounts of information and none of it's been touched by a human yet.
Yeah, amazing.
That's what makes it so powerful.
Very cool. Okay.
So you're really maximising your website. You're maximising your ability to gain information from it. Now, of course, once you've got this information, then forms will allow you to create a list automatically from that data.
Have you just come up with that word?
Automatically. That's everyone knows that.
Yeah, no. I just like the way you're referencing both
Correct,
old-fashioned automatically and new. Okay, so if you've got a form that gets lots of submissions, you're saying automatically make a list, which is a function of the form tool.
Exactly. Automatically make a list, which is great.
List from submissions.
And another good tip is don't just call your button submit. Have a bit more fun with the brand. So this is, on the form tool, this is where you can change the name of the button and have some fun with it. It doesn't have to be boring old submit.
Okay.
I know. Submit's a programming term.
Press me now.
Correct.
Okay.
Or click here for more awesomeness.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. And I think also it's important to help get form conversion, contribution, word of the day, or battling it out with automatically as word of the day. One of the ways to get better future contribution is to also explain to the consumers what's going to happen after they click on the form.
Oh, so where would you do that?
Well, that would be on your landing page in general.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's really nice now is that HubSpot's got a new feature,
dun, dun, dun,
which allows you to have HTML editable text as the form title. So previously it was reasonably locked, is what you could do, but now you can actually get rich HTML happening there, which is super cool.
Very cool.
It is. So that's the key thing. Now, in creating a form, call on the awareness form, call on the consideration form, and call on the decision form, and leave it at that. You don't need to create squillions of different forms because you've got the ability to actually segment your data based on what's happening in the page level, not just the form level the whole time. Okay,
so just to wind it back a couple of steps, let's just take the awareness. That's the winding noise. Let's take the awareness section, okay? Let's say you're going to use a form on a landing page for an ebook download, which is
top of funnel.
Very top of funnel piece of content. Okay, so you're going to ask for 3 pieces of information: first name, last name, email address.
Correct. Yep. Nothing more than that.
Nothing more.
Not the first go.
So you're saying that the next piece of content or next landing page you put out there, still in the awareness stage, we'll only have those three.
Yeah, but progressive polling will add more.
Definitely.
Yep, absolutely right.
Okay,
Yep.
interesting.
Yep.
So if you go to the back end of someone's HubSpot portal,
Yep.
what you would like to see
There's less forms.
is 3 forms.
Correct. And the contact us.
Wow. I wonder how many people out there are actually doing that.
I know, right?
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing because the trap we fall into, and I've done it, I'm not going to lie,
Yeah.
we make a new form every time.
Correct.
So
And
today's takeaway, people, is don't make a new form every time you make a landing page.
That's right. Yeah. And if you've
Great.
got additional stuff, you really should never get... you're always going to need first name, last name,
Yeah.
email address.
Yep.
And so it's all then up to the progressive bit.
Interesting. So I think what we should do is we should come up with a top 20 list of awesome progressive polling questions for B2B.
Wow. Okay. That can be next year's topic.
I'll get an intern.
Excellent.
to work on that.
That sounds like great more work
No.
for us.
That's an excellent idea, though. I like it.
I do, yeah.
Good idea, Zan. Thanks, Zan.
Okay. So now let's... So
Wow, that was big.
that's the form
think
guide on
that-
forms.
You did not lie. That was worth it. Wow, you can have a break. You've been talking
Yeah, I
too
have,
long.
yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Now I've got to start my iPad up and it's gone to sleep. Let's move on to what we're loving this week in HubSpot. And for me, this is a surprise topic for me because workflows is not usually my favourite space to play in HubSpot. But I've gone there,
Go on.
and I'm gonna share the workflow recipes.
Ooh, cookies?
Yeah, I know.
Ossobuco?
Yeah.
I need a good recipe for
Tira
ossobuco.
misu. So the workflow recipes are reasonably new.
They've been there for ages.
Few months.
Yeah. They've been around for ages. But that's okay. You run with it. It's a gift that keeps on giving HubSpot because there's always features you don't realise are there.
So what I would encourage everyone to do is go to your workflows tool
Yep,
and check
yep.
out the workflow recipes because there's some really cool ideas here that you
Yep.
may not have thought of before.
I know. And I've got a cool one for them too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, keep going
Excellent.
then.
So the recipe that I'm enjoying the most is set life cycle stage to MQL. Now, this is something that very easily can be set up yourself, but if you hadn't thought of it, it's there for you.
Great. Like it.
Press the button and away you go. So what that's going to do is go and change the life cycle stage to any of your contacts who have submitted a form. So we're still talking forms.
Yep.
And set their life cycle stage to MQL
Great.
and pop them in a list called
Perfect.
MQLs.
Yep.
And then you're able to easily determine what life cycle stage they're at in your...
I like it. Now,
the
you can also
funnel.
do this with hidden forms, hidden fields on the forms as well.
Yes, okay. I've
Yeah.
heard you talk about this
Yeah,
before.
so getting back to our forms, you can create a field which is hidden
Mhm.
and changes that life cycle stage based on the submit button being pressed.
Very good.
It is very cool, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like an automatically push the variable into this information.
Cool. So there's lots of different recipes. There's not just that one, but that's the one that I find I'm using over and over
Great.
again. And
Yeah.
now that I know that it's there, I just go and set it up and bang, away we go.
You really are a master workflow chef, cook.
I wouldn't have gone that far. But anyway, one of the cool recipes that is in there, though, if anyone's tinkering with the idea of setting up
Is this on the left-hand side in workflows? Where do you get the recipes from? Which
Up.
button?
up the top,
Oh, okay.
yeah, across the top of the menu bar.
Beautiful.
Well, not in the very, very top, the next top.
Oh, yep. Got it.
Second top.
Second top.
Anyone tinkering with the idea of setting up a webinar, there's a workflow there for setting
Ooh
up
la
a
la,
webinar,
that's
which
powerful.
is really helpful.
There's a lot of steps in
because
that
there is
too.
a lot of steps.
That's really cool. Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Great.
There you go. So what about you, Adam? What are you loving in HubSpot this week?
Well, I've got an idea that extends on that before I go completely nuts on what I am loving. But wouldn't it be great if they had a marketplace or a trading post where you could actually upload your workflows and then recipes would be contributed from the whole globe?
Shut up and take my money.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Amazing.
So, and particularly if you could only download one if you've uploaded one. Imagine that if all the HubSpot users united and put up their workflows and everyone had great workflows.
Barter place.
Workflow world.
Workflow world.
So Workflow world, bring that on.
I'll
HubSpot.
make the jingle. You guys make the rest of it.
Okay, we'll make the Workflow world marketplace happen. So that's a great idea. Well, on me. So getting back to what I'm loving,
So that wasn't it. That's not what you.
No, that was just a great idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Sorry,
what you're loving about
there's
this
a new
episode.
topic.
Yeah.
What Adam's had a great idea today is Some of them are not worth. I mean,
No,
some
yeah,
of them
right.
are brilliant.
So what we're loving is the CRM Extensions Overview. CRM Extensions is a new thing, brand new, like literally 3 hours old.
Like,
It's
oh my gosh, hot off the
I know,
press.
and you found this, and I melted down in excitement because this is allowing developers to access APIs from other apps and bring them into the CRM on the side of your program. Now, I am in the middle of doing exactly this for Crystal Knows. So Crystal Knows is a platform that Crystal knows all about the personalities of people. So as you're looking at a contact, you get an assessment, a disc assessment of that person. So check it out, crystalknows.com.
It's not her nose.
No,
on
it's
her
not.
face.
No,
It's KNOW.
S.com, yeah, Crystal. And so it's an app. Now, this is perfect for this because with the HubSpot CRM extensions, we'll be able to link into the API library and bring up that information on the sidebar. So it allows developers like us to go ahead and create awesome. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff with this. This is huge. Huge.
Very
Developers around
good.
the world and HubSpotlandia are getting excited.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next segment for episode 40 is Girl Boss. If you're in charge of HubSpot for the day, what would you change? I'm a little stumped today.
Are you?
Yeah, I didn't have anything, and I've spent a few minutes like thinking about it. And
Well, what means you're on a winner?
well, yeah, I kind of am okay with things at the moment. I'm humming along.
Well, we don't want to talk about the social media tool though.
Oh, well, I'm not allowed to anyway. You banned me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want me to go there, I will.
No.
Topic.
Yeah, that's okay.
Bom, bom. I do have a tool of the week though.
Well, you can do that and I'll flunk
Okay.
the tool of the week. Perfect.
Cool. So my tool of the week, I'm kind of addicted to it at the moment. Every time my email notification pings with this, I'm into this email, and it's my subscription from inbound.org.
Ooh la la. It's getting better, isn't it? I do agree.
I love it.
Yeah.
The contributions that people make there are just spot on.
Everyone's so friendly and helpful.
So friendly, so helpful. You can vote up articles. Great source of inspiration for new ways to try things.
Hashtag
or
inspo.
Hashtag inspo.
Yep.
So yeah, jump on inbound.org.
Free to join.
It's effectively an inbound marketing community, which is lovely. And I find it very helpful, and you should definitely subscribe to the emails.
And I'm sure they find you a treasured member of the community. In fact, we should post the fact we've got a HubSpot, HubnSpoke podcast there.
Definitely. So there you have it, people. Episode 40. Can you believe it? The big 40.
I know. We'll be looking back when it's 400 saying this was just a minor milestone.
Thank you for listening to us today. Obviously, you can hear more of our episodes on iTunes.
Correct.
You can follow us on Twitter at hub_n_spoke and check our website out, thekingdom.com.au. Our Kingdom Live episodes have fired up again, and they have slightly different content.
They do, yeah.
We're all about mixing it up for different channels. So our Kingdom Live session talks about digital marketing and social media tips and tricks. Thank you for listening to us for episode 40. We will be back next week for episode 41.
You'd hope so.
I've been Zan and you've been
Adam. See ya.
Bye.
For all the new shows, check out www.thekingdom.com.au/HubnSpoke. You have been listening to Adam Steinhardt and Zan Johnson of The Kingdom, an inbound marketing agency from Adelaide, South Australia. HubSpot Platinum Partners and the International HubSpot Partner of the Year 2015.